So this video is going to be the first in a series of videos that I'm going to do to show you guys how to use some of the software that's provided to you for free to the largest extent. And this is particularly focused on how to use Microsoft Outlook. So if we switch on over to our main screen here, what you want to do is you want to download all the desktop apps for Office. So if you go to do your search bar, go to office.com, it'll prompt you for a login. You want to use your UC account. That's going to redirect you to put in your UC information, and then you'll be able to log in here. And you'll see a whole bunch of Microsoft apps that you guys have access to, primarily Outlook, Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. And what you're going to want to do is you want to go to Install Office 365 Apps, and these are going to give you the desktop apps. Now, the reason why I'm such a strong proponent of desktop apps is that they make use of your computer's resources, like the physical resources on your computer. You're not relying on a server somewhere else. This is much faster. And ultimately, I personally like Google a lot as a company. Their Office productivity software is not as good as Microsoft's at this point. They're doing a lot of things with G Suite that I think are going to be interesting, that are going to compete with Microsoft eventually. But at this point, Microsoft's Office software solutions are superior to Google's. Okay, so once you have these things downloaded, you're going to be able to go to Outlook. And so what I'm going to show you is I'm going to give you like a brief tour of some of the stuff here. And you'll notice I have dark theme in my my stuff. If that's something you like dark themes, you can go over to Office accounts, and then you can change your theme. So default, I think you'll have colorful. Light themes make my eyes bleed. I like dark themes, so you can set this to black, and then it's easier on the eyes. So once you have this, something that's really important to set up that's not set up by default is threading. So what threading is when you have a conversation or like emails that are sent back and forth between people that have replied, it creates a collapsible group. So for instance, this is one that's been sent back and forth between me and the department head. He's talking about giving me some extra funding over the summer, and I'm saying, well, what can we spend that on other than me, because I don't really need it. So basic information in the conversation is important, but the thing to take away from this is like, this is all talking about the same thing, and I can collapse it and then move it like this. So what we want to do in order to do that is we want to go to View and then Show as Conversation. Now, I don't want to undo this because it's going to make my inbox a gigantic mess, but you want to show as conversation for these, and then what you're going to be able to do is you're going to be able to open and close these like this, so you can see all the elements of the conversation in one nice way. So that's an important thing to do. The next thing that's important to do, and this is what I have kind of as your assignment for getting set up here, is to set up folders and rules. So you see on the side here, I have a whole bunch of folders set up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of go through and do a little bit of email management here, because there are things that I want to get rid of. So for instance, I have these messages that I've been getting from Teams when you guys have been sending me things, but I get those as alerts in my notifications. So I don't need these emails. In fact, this is just clutter. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a rule. So we're going to create a rule, and this one applies from let's actually just do advanced options. So what I'm going to do, and actually I want to be careful with the way that I set this up. I'm just going to do it when the subject line is there's new activity in Teams. I want to select a folder, so move this item to a folder, and then select the folder it's going to go to. And I'm just going to put this in, we're not going to put it in junk, we're looking for deleted items. We put it in deleted items, okay. So now, automatically, whenever I get a notification that's via email from Teams that says there's new activity, it's going to move it to the deleted items folder. Okay, so click OK. It's going to ask me if I want to run this rule. Once it thinks about it for a second, I want to run this rule, and then it's going to do that on everything in my inbox. And now, anytime I get one of those emails, automatically goes to my deleted items. Okay. So there you go. Here's a couple of them that are there now. Okay. So that's how you're going to set that up. Now you see how I have a bunch of folders like this. In order to do that, you can right-click here and go to New Folder and say, what's something that I'm getting a whole bunch of? Let's do UC Office Information. I'm getting a bunch of these. I'm probably going to get rid of this afterwards, but this is just an example. So now, I've been getting a whole bunch of these emails about phishing alerts, and I want all of those in one place that's not my inbox. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, again, create a new rule. Okay, and you'll see that there are more advanced options you can do if these simple ones are not what you want. So let's kind of explore this menu here. So I'm going to apply this rule anytime I get email from Exchange admin. We click next. What do I want to do? I want you to move it to a specific folder. I could even say I want you to delete it. There's a whole bunch of stuff that you can do here. You can mark it as important. You can flag it. There's a whole bunch of different options here. So I'm going to go next. I need to specify the folder I want it to be sent to, UC Office Information. Click next. This is where you can set exceptions. I don't need any exceptions for this one. So we're going to click next, run this rule, and then click finish. And now all of the email messages that have been sent to me that are from that email address are now going to be in here. And there was actually only one of them recently. I moved a whole bunch of the other ones already. Okay, so this is just the basics of Outlook, but something that you guys should do when you're learning software is kind of go around and click on all of the tabs and read what the things are that you can do. And you'll find that software like Outlook has a lot of functionality built into it that will allow you to do more the more you learn about it. Okay, so this was just a really brief overview of Outlook. Like I said, I'm going to have an assignment where you kind of just basically go through and you set up your email to be automated to move things from particular professors to folders for those classes. But that's going to be it. If you guys have any questions about this, I'm always happy to talk to you guys about learning how to use new software and so on. So feel free to post in Teams. Until then, until I see you guys again, take it easy.